And since they were oppressed for thousands of years across Europe and literally across the world, they had to rely on themselves. They had to build strong communities. When there are specific laws that prevent you from having a certain job, there is something we have to do. You have to rely on yourself. You have to start something on your own to somehow put food on the table. Otherwise, you're not going to survive. That entrepreneurial spirit stayed with the Jews until today. That's one of the reasons why we have so many successful Jewish entrepreneurs who built some of the largest companies in the country. Here is something else that Jews understood over the centuries. If their voice isn't heard in the highest ranks of the government, it could be the end of the Jews, just like it happened in 1940s in Europe when Hitler rose to power. It was really dangerous to be a Jew back then. That's why these people hid their identity, adopted different names in order not to appear like a Jew. Take an example of the Rothschild family. This is one of the wealthiest families in the history. They built the first ever international bank. They were so wealthy that there's so many conspiracies about them that their net worth could be like trillions of dollars. And yet they lost everything. They had to trade their entire net worth in 1940s in order not to be persecuted by the Nazis. For thousands of years, Jews understood the importance of having a strong community, because when you don't have the exact same rights as everyone else in the country, your only chance of survival is to rely on your community, because individually, you're going to die. And that's one of the reasons why an average Jew often was much wealthier than the average European. That's another reason why they were hated by other communities across Europe. And you can see that even today. Just take a look at the United States. Jews have the strongest lobbies in the country because Jewish billionaires are ready to donate as much as it's required in order to be heard in the government. So we have people such as Henry Kissinger, who was literally the mastermind behind Nixon's administration. This guy was one of the most powerful people in the world back then. Even the current Secretary of the State is a Jew, Antony Blinken. But that was not the only factor that made these people so rich.